is stuck in limbo in Trinidad. She was stopped from boarding a plane on Sunday. Let's bring in Greg Ross now. He's here to help us explain what happened. Greg, a big part of this story is how much help she's received on Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah, Shannon, friends have been working here in Canada to help her get back home and to make sure that she's taken care of in Trinidad, where she's been stuck for the last 3 days. To be young, Anitafrika says the entire ordeal has taught her a valuable lesson when it comes to international travel. It was supposed to be a quick trip to Trinidad and Tobago for this Jamaican Canadian.
I'm an international artist.
Who amongst us?
To be young, Anitafrika is a poet, musician, and playwright who was on a business trip performing a couple of shows. But when she tried to return home to Toronto on Sunday night, she was stopped before boarding a Caribbean Airlines plane and questioned about her documents.
You're Jamaican and you're going to Canada. Where's your visa?
Anitafrika was born in Jamaica but is a Canadian citizen. She had traveled to Trinidad and Tobago using her Jamaican passport because her Canadian passport had expired a year ago. She didn't think it would be a problem.
I've got dual citizenship, I've got a valid passport, and I've got my Canadian citizenship.
But without a valid Canadian passport, the airline refused to allow her to travel to Canada. We contacted Caribbean Airlines, and in a statement they told us if the passenger is holding a Jamaican passport without a valid Canadian visa in the passport, then the airline would not be in a position to accept her travel into Canada.
My son lost his passport.
Peter Rakai is an immigration lawyer in Toronto. He says this is not unusual.
If you're a traveler around the world and if your passport to Canada is expired, or if you've lost your passport, you're not going to get on a plane these days.
And Anitafrika didn't. She was stranded.
So I get on the computer with the last remaining battery power that I have, and I just send out an SOS.
A call for help on social media, but her computer died before she received a response, and she would sit in the airport for hours, not sure if help would arrive.
I was curling up on the bench, getting ready to stay in the airport all night. As I'm closing my eyes, I see these two elderly black women walking up.
One of those women was an aunt of a friend of a friend of a friend who Anitafrika had never met. She says they took her in, they gave her a place to stay, and they treated her like family. And this story has an even happier ending. Anitafrika says she's working with the Canadian government. They're trying to expedite a passport to her, and she expects to be on a plane home in the next day or two, Shannon.
Thanks, Greg. A valuable lesson there for travelers. In other news,